Hey everyone, I'm David on Earth. Join me today as I lay out a few things I've learned about buying backpacking gear. The title says I'm revealing some secrets. Maybe if you're kind of new to this, but it's really a lot about all the dumb things I've done in the past that I would rather you not do. Backpacking gear is a topic that's near and dear to my heart and wallet. And here's why. When I'm out on the trails, having the right gear has made all the difference between a comfortable, enjoyable trip and a miserable, exhausting one. Boom. But with so many options out there, it can be tough figuring out what's truly worth the investment before you pull the trigger and do the purchase. You know, like buying stuff you end up not liking and returning it and restarting your search, it's a hassle. When it comes to backpacking gear, there are a lot of options to choose from, and it can be really overwhelming, especially for beginners. Do you ask for help? What advice do you listen to? Who should you believe? So here's the scene. You walk into an outdoor supply store, or maybe you're perusing online, and you're instantly bombarded with dozens of choices that all promise to be everything you need them to be, at all different price points. Is the most expensive better? What's wrong with the cheap one? And the outdoor industry isn't short of gadgets either. There are all sorts of cool and fancy stuff that come with a lot of marketing hype. And there's social pressure to have the latest, coolest thing. But the truth is, like any marketing effort, and pretty much every video on the latest gadgets, it tends to be a little fluffy, a little exaggerated, a little making a big deal out of nothing. Mattress pumps. You know, they're the latest craze. The big deal is that it saves you from exhaling into your mattress. Well, if you're breathing, you kind of have to exhale anyway, so it might as well be into your mattress. And so you just did a bunch of elevation gain for the day and you're tired. So what's a few more extra deep breaths into a nice comfy mattress? I'll say it here, haters will hate. These pumps are making a big deal out of nothing. The latest one I looked at is like $60. Whoa. For me, I have better things to do with $60. But, you know, you decide. I really don't care if you spend $60 on an air pump, but that's just one example of how the industry tends to make a big deal out of nothing. Okay, so then you buy the latest gadget, whatever it is, and you're cool now. And then you use it. And it's not exactly what you thought it would be. It doesn't live up to the hype. And then you start thinking, oh great, now I have another fat item that I'll use maybe a few times and then toss it into a box into an already overcrowded gear closet. I've been backpacking for years, maybe like you. And I've made my fair share of mistakes when it comes to buying gear and gadgets. I've been the cool guy. I've been the guy with all the cool gadgets. I bought things that I thought were going to be amazing, only to be disappointed. So, try to see through the hype and assess the real value of what you're trying to buy. Ask yourself, is this really worth it? Ain't a word and you ain't supposed to use it. Remember that one? Maybe I'm just too old. So I thought, hey, let's go look at some reviews. That will tell me for sure what I need to know. So off I went off to YouTube. That's a great source, right? Right. Well, not so much. What? I've come to realize that many YouTube reviewers don't really tell me what I'm looking for. Not that the reviewers are lying. Liar! It's just that gear is often reviewed before it is even used for any reasonable amount of time that you would expect in order for the reviewer to actually form an opinion. What I'm looking for is opinions based on actual, real, and a good amount of use. Opening a box that you just got in the mail and reading words anyone can find on the manufacturer's sites really isn't helpful. I can read. Usually. I don't need anyone to read to me. And so I go to look at reviews at the online stores. Great, 4.5 stars. But then when I look at the actual reviews, it's the same old story. The merchant asks for the buyers to review these only like hours or maybe a couple days after they actually buy the gear. They haven't had a chance to use it. And it's either a 5-star review, hey, this looks great, can't wait to use it, or it's a 1-star review that's complaining about the shipping. Again, mostly useless information. I've looked at products that had like hundreds of reviews to only find maybe a few that have any valuable information. All this has taught me to be more discerning when it comes to buying gear. Now here's a few tips. Do a lot of research before making a purchase, especially on high-cost items. Dig into how the gear came to be. What was the inspiration? What makes it different or better? What materials is it made of? What feedback and quality control system is in place, built into the manufacturing process? Is it continually being improved? How engaged is the company at addressing negative comments or bad experiences with their product? Do they stand behind their product by offering a generous warranty or guarantee? The bottom line is that if a company making the gear does not put quality and customer satisfaction at the top of what drives them, then something else is, and maybe it's profits, which means happy customers are not their biggest focus, which means you lose. So be a winner, dig in a little bit. The next tip is to ignore the overall rating. When looking at reviews, look for the actual length and scope of their experience with actual use of the product, and ignore everything else. Filter for facts, not for feelings. For instance, when I'm looking for a tent, I want to know these things. How did it hold up in a bad storm? Did it leak? Did it collapse? Did the poles break? How livable was the space inside the tent on a multi-trip day?
So, can we just start over?
Were they able to get all their gear safely inside and protected? Was it roomy? Was it too roomy? Will a tall person fit in it? What size air mattress fit in it? Were they able to sit up in the tent without scraping their head on the ceiling and getting their head wet from all the condensation that built up the night before? Was there enough airflow or ventilation? How fast was the setup? Did it take too much room up in their pack? That's just one example of what I would be thinking about when I'm looking at reviews for a tent. Do the same kind of scrutiny for whatever gear you're looking at. Okay, so the next tip is to look for information beyond the marketing fluff. Find people you can trust with reviews, the ones that give you more than the marketing information. It will be obvious in their delivery. They won't be shy about the things they don't like, and they'll talk about things not covered in the manufacturing website. No, they're not going to be mean. They're just going to be, as a matter of fact-ish. Also note that most people who are sponsored by a company are obligated, formally or informally, to turn down the negative feedback a bit. Some of them are actually required to say pre-scripted words. This isn't true all the time, but by definition, these are salespeople. They're sales representatives. Now, I'm not digging on them personally because they need to feed their kids just like everybody else, and sponsorships are a great way to do that. But just understand there could be some bias at play when considering input from those who are sponsored by the manufacturer. Never buy at full retail price. The key to getting the best price on your gear is to plan ahead and be patient. There's always a deal, right? At some point, there's always a deal, if you're willing to wait for it. The tendency for me is to get all my gear right away because I'm excited and about the trip and I want to go and I want to need my stuff. But I've gotten great deals when I've waited for the sale and when I've searched around for the best price. Or maybe I picked up used gear. Now, if you're getting gear from a used gear place, make sure it's a respectable source who is willing to back up what they are selling with a decent return policy if the gear turns out to be something maybe different than what they advertised. Most gear companies have sales several times per year, so if you can, wait for it. It could significantly reduce your gear spend for the year. Okay, so those are all my secrets. For those who have learned a few things through the years, if you have any other advice for those seeking to buy new gear for the year, then things that I haven't mentioned, then go ahead and pop it down below in the comments. Thank you for watching. Now, go live like you want it. Hey, this is David on Earth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And go to the website for some deals on gear. All right, see you on the trail.
Very